neighborhood, just another day around the way.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. We've got a few more minutes in this evening's edition of The Chair. And I should mention at this particular point in time that we did state last week that as of this week, we will be having 2 editions of The Chair per week, every Tuesday and Thursday night. So this coming Thursday, we've got another edition of the program where our special guest in the chair will be candidate Stuart Young, and we're looking forward to that discussion with anxious anticipation. But for tonight, we continue our discourse between the panel and our guest for the evening, Mr. Dayne Francois. Let's continue.
Hi, Mr. Francois. Crystal from Youth Ambassador City. Well, we know the situation that took place with Faik Mohammed, in which he represented you guys for the local government election. He won his seat, all that. Sometime after, though, he was accused of being bribed by the UNC, etc., etc. I'm not really getting into that. What I really want to ask is, what precautions did you guys take in selecting candidates for this general election to make sure that you don't make the same mistake choosing people that seem to represent you and sometime after, you know? Because if you can't trust who you have chosen, how do you expect the electorate to?
Oh boy, that's loaded. Well, I must say that all the candidates who have been selected went through a very rigorous process. You never know what people can do. You would recall the Vincent Lash, Rupert Griffith issue a couple years ago. So folks are always free to make whatever decision that they want. I would say, however, that I think for the first time I've seen in national politics a bunch of spirited, young, aggressive, conscious politicians who are not going to sell their souls for a mess of pottage.
Good evening, Mr. Francois. Brandon O'Brien from Take Back TT.
Yeah.
We spoke a little bit before the break about how the backdrop that you extracted from does affect your personal politics, and I want to interrogate that a little bit. We currently have an Equal Opportunity Act that does not protect young people or people who are discriminated on the basis of age, people who are discriminated on the basis of HIV positive status, and people who are discriminated against on the basis of their sexual orientation, as well as a Children's Act that puts young people in jail for up to life in prison for same-sex attraction.
Yeah.
You come from Toco, Sangre Grande, a community that, doesn't have statistics around same-sex attraction or HIV positive status, but no doubt has individuals of those communities just like everybody else in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. You as a theologian, right, turning politician, how can you trust that you will protect those communities in the same way that you protect any other community?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a serious question. Look, my personal liberality takes me up to a particular point regarding the sanctity of marriage, etc. And that is purely personal. But any form of discrimination, whether it be ageist or sexist, any form of discrimination at all, I would stand against. So as an individual, although I may not subscribe to the lifestyle of particular individuals in particular groups, I respect their decision and their ability to choose whatever lifestyle they choose, and I would defend them. As a matter of fact, if I'm to be a real Bible believer, I'm bound to defend them. Yeah. Yes.
Mr. Francois, good night again. Let's be honest. Do you think you really stand a chance winning this seat? And honestly, and what are you doing to ensure that?
Yeah. Well, I would not have gotten involved if I did not believe that I have a serious contribution to make in this particular community. Honestly. You would recall that I think Rupert Griffith won that seat 5 years ago by some 700 or less votes. We now have 6,000 plus squatters in Toco Sangre Grande, 6,000 plus.
But before you go further, what separates you from the other candidates? I mean,
yeah, certainly. Wrapped up in Glenda Jennings and Brent Sancho is part of me. Glenda Jennings is a former Deputy Commissioner of Police. I've been in criminal justice for some time. I've played basketball at the highest level in this country. Brent Sancho is also an athlete. So you get one for the price of two. We can start, we can actually start there. But because I'm rooted in Toco Sangre Grande, I've never moved. And my passion for this community is second to none. As I've said before, Toco Sangre Grande for so many seem to be a decent place to work, but not a decent place. Allen to Joseph Tony, Roger Boynes, Casimir, Rupert Griffith, no one lived
Mr.
in Toco Sangre.
Francois,
That's a huge
sorry
issue.
for cutting you though.
That's all right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you were a local government councillor for Sangre Grande Northwest, was it?
Yes.
So tell me, during your tenure as councillor, how has the region or the electoral district benefited? And if you can tell me about some of the policies you were able to help influence.
Yeah, certainly. For the period when I was councillor, I was the only councillor who brought a motion to council that was debated by both council members and opposition, and they unanimously supported the motion. I first raised the issue on banning bottles for Carnival, and then Louis Leasing, of course, borrowed it. And again, because Toco Sangre Grande is not considered important, it was very, very interesting that this issue was not given the recognition that it deserved in Toco Sangre Grande. And I really hold no brief it because I'm concerned about the conversation. So that's number one. It was discussed and all of council agreed with the motion. Secondly, in this present council, I've presented my position on these restaurants that we have in Toco Sangre Grande that sometimes aren't as professional as they should be. I asked the person who chaired the Public Health Committee to please look into introducing the grading system that exists in the international community where restaurants are graded. If pressure is put on the restaurant owners and so on, and if they are graded, and if or purchasers see that restaurants actually are graded with a D or an E, then the proprietor would be concerned, and so too would be the consumers. So I've been very effective. I'm not even going to talk about the physical infrastructure, is what I was supposed to do, from getting lights on in Damry Hill, etc., Damry Recreation Ground. So I'm not going to talk about that. But the novel undertaking, I think, is what separated me then and now from the other local government representatives. Hi.
How does the ILP intend to deal with the issue of CLICO and its shareholders? More too so, how does it intend to give its shareholders back the money and away from Mr. Dupree, who seems to think that he has a right to it?
Yeah. Look, there's a level of unfairness that has populated this country. It is just very, very sad. And I think based on what our chairman, Rekha Ramjit, attorney at law, would have pronounced on this particular issue, we are going to move hell and high water to see that justice is done regarding this issue.
Mr. Francois,
Yeah.
right? From knowledge of your education background again, I'll touch on theology, right? You would have studied books like Step to Christ, right? Preparation for the Final Crisis and other Christian educational literature. Listening to 107 today, I heard Miss Avi Hackett running for COP, all right, for Diego Martin. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that clarification. And as a Christian, she has been ridiculed and criticized of being an idol worshiper.
A Christian show has been ridiculed?
Yeah, she has been ridiculed, right,
Okay.
personally,
Right.
because she's a Christian as well, right? And has been ridiculed of being an idol worshiper, right? And also because she has joined up with the COP, which has come out of the PP, which is Kamla 2015, and also ILP has come out of that. Have you as a Christian been ridiculed because of that? One. I'll just wait on your response. I have two more for you.
No, I have not been ridiculed.
Not been?
No.
All right. Not yet?
Not yet.
All right. By general observation, the PNM can be viewed as a Christian-based organization, a Christian-based party. The PP, Hinduism-based, right? It can be seen as a generally viewed, right? Mm-hmm. And the ILP, what is the ILP? Right? What is the ILP? What is ILP? Answer that for me, please. Answer that. Wait, answer that for me, please.
Yeah.
What is the ILP?
Okay, certainly. One is a devout Catholic as our leader. Our chairman, Rika Ramjit, is a Hindu.
Okay. Thank you. Also,
do they not have any more members?
Parties can also be seen as picking people based on popularity, like Arnold Roberts, maybe Brent Sancho as well might fall into that category, right? And good looks like Miss Sarah Bodu from, just saying general view, right? So, what have you been picked and selected for? Why were you selected as a candidate?
Right. I think based on the persons who presented themselves as candidates, I stood out for a number of reasons. One, I think it is my academic background, and two, it is because I'm grounded in Grande, in Toco, Sangre Grande, and that is important for us in the region because, as I said before, look, man, if you drive through Toco, Sangre Grande, you would see neglect, as never before. We have no factories. We have National Quarry. We have, as I said before, 64 quarries. Most of the owners are outside of Toco, Sangre Grande. Might I say that our lands are being torn up and we barge away the minerals. The other islands don't tear up their soil, they don't tear up their lands. But in Toco, Sangre Grande, it's okay to rip it up. 240 acres dispensed to the protest of the Ministry of Energy, angry with Kevin Ramnarine for what he did. And the region is paying a price for it. It's one thing for us to build the highway with our minerals, but it's another thing to barge it away and sell it to other islands, while persons in Toco, Sangre Grande continue to populate our hospitals.
So what do you bring to the table? That is the main thing.
I bring a level of freshness. My main concern is to lift Toco, Sangre Grande out of the doldrums of poverty. We are the poorest region in the country, and you can tell of the spin-offs that come as a result of our poverty. So we're talking about M to M. We're talking about economic development for everyone. We're talking about ecologists. We're talking about a bird sanctuary that is second to none to the one that exists outside of Toco, Sangre Grande. We're talking about an unprecedented flora and fauna, pristine beaches. I'm talking about putting money in people's pocket. I've learned from this Italian guy named Perot, who has a wooden hotel on the beach and is booked solid. As a matter of fact, when a piece of board, has spent its time,
Mr. Francois, sorry to interject,
and simply knocks in another, and he's doing well. Yes.
we're short on time, so I'd like to just ask you two simple questions. One, does the ILP have a manifesto? If yes, did you bring us any copies? If no, is it an indication that the ILP has no plans and vision to take this country forward?
Yeah, but we do have a manifesto, and
where is it available?
Yes,
Can you?
It would be made available shortly.
Oh, it would be.
Yes, we also
when?
have
After September 8th?
We have a miniature version that's
it's a draft
downstairs.
copy.
I can furnish you with a copy of that. And manifestos are often simply
Okay.
dust holders. Yeah.
All right, cool. My thing is that you are the second person from the ILP to sit on the chair. We have no representatives from the People's Partnership, from or aka Kamla 2015. So I would like to congratulate the ILP for actually coming and being here with us.
Thank you.
And
Thank
taking
you,
the chastisement. And so I mean, I for the right thing.
Yeah.
And if you want to come and say X, Y, and Z about the ILP, at least bring your representation. Now in terms of bringing the manifesto, are we judging? Is it that some people judge by bringing a book? Is that how we are being judged now, or by building roads, helping the old, helping people get this, helping people get that, or is it based now on judging a book? Is that how low we go on to now? If so, I know you all have your manifesto. I know the ILP has their manifesto.
Sure.
So on that, one thing that you can say about the manifesto, just to share for people who don't know what the manifesto is about.
Sure. Yeah, certainly. One of the major things I would like to point out quickly is that we are concerned about reestablishing a huge crime theory called trust. And that is the relationship between the police and the community. There is no trust. And how do we reestablish that? We have a clear, systematic approach to that. We also have a clear, systematic approach towards securing our borders, something that People's Partnership really failed this nation on, and something that was etched in their manifesto. Yeah, they said from day one.
6 minutes left in this evening's program, folks. So we're in the final few questions. There are no more breaks, but we can, of course, take our questions to the next level. Let's continue.
Yeah, I want to mix it up tonight a little bit, and I want to pose some questions to the UNC pseudo youth we have here called the Youth Revolution. Because we don't usually have them, so I like to grasp the opportunity. So tonight, you have asked Mr. Francois to defend his political leader. So tonight, I'm going to ask you the same thing, to defend your political leader. What is two things? One, what is the sense or the nonsense in selecting Brent Sancho, someone with no political ambition, to run for a seat such as Toco Sangre Grande, which we have just heard at length is so deprived of natural resources? And secondly, you asked for the ILP's manifesto, but where is Kamala 2015's manifesto? Is it the 20 pledges, copy and paste from the United Nations, or is it the 20 vaguely worded promises?
Firstly, I would like to say that, let me answer the second question first. The manifesto is an entire booklet. In case you haven't read it, I was present at the launch of it. It's an entire booklet. It's more than just 20 simple pledges. It's just made simple for you to read. It's like hooked on phonics for people who can't read.
Okay, but
or understand. Secondly,
did you bring one?
No, I don't have one on me right now.
You asked him to present his
but
one,
we do have an online copy. There is an online copy.
Did you didn't bring copy?
I didn't have my copy. I'm not the one on the hot seat. I'm not the one on the hot seat.
And then you haven't.
We can't turn our back on our guests and
sorry.
And then I do appreciate and encourage the exchange, because we've got a diverse panel and there will of course be diverse point of views. But let's not take the entire remainder of the program into a direction that completely ignores the guests that we have with us.
We apologize. Yeah, okay. Well, I give my Lynn for an opportunity to touch on your first question, but I just
2 minutes
I do want to point out that she did not say that it was not copy and pasted from the United Nations, because United Kingdom. Sorry,
yes.
And there we go. We've been engaging our. So if you would address the first question now, please.
Okay, we're down to the final 3 minutes of the program. So we've got time for one more question, because we are in our final 3 minutes.
Okay, Mr. Francois, this is just a question out of curiosity. The ILP is a fairly young party, so I'd like to say, did you support another political party before you decided to be involved in the ILP? If so, why did you decide to jump ship and be a part of the ILP? What political entity did you support before you became affiliated with the ILP?
No, certainly. I was part and parcel, unfortunately, with the UNC. The reason for that is quite simple. See, I'm of the view that if there is error, so much so that it is destroying the nation, one has the opportunity to veer away, to walk away. And the amount of corruption that I've seen over the past 5 years, it's unprecedented. I've never seen it. Not only did I walk, but two other councillors in Toco, Sangre Grande. So I walked away from the UNC with good cause. It was a huge mistake. Colossal error.
I know some political parties ask for manifestos so they can get ideas and stuff. I'm just putting that out there.
Yes.
All right. But I would love to see what the ILP's manifesto has. All right. Also the 20 points pledges. Sorry. Right. I would like to have a look at it, and also I know that Thursday, the PNM's manifesto will be launched, and I'm sure we'll all there will be copies made available for everyone.
And I can clearly say that the word for this evening seems to have ultimately become manifesto.
But
ladies and gentlemen, but we are the time. We are the time for this evening's program. I wanna take the time out to, of course, thank Mr. Francois for coming in and subjecting yourself to the experience. Yeah. I'm sure it was indeed an eye-opening,
gratifying.
Right? I want to thank the members of the panel as well, because this evening we've got a very diverse panel, and of course I welcome the representatives from the UNC who've been absent for some time, and I'm happy to have you on the inside. The other interest groups and the regulars, you continue to create a level of dialogue that makes this program interesting. Since we started the series, people are now meeting me on the street and saying, listen, good show, excellent program, and they don't seem to understand that the process is really not my show. So I'm uncomfortable when people comment to me because I have nothing to do with it. This is your show. This is your opportunity to ask the questions that you want to ask. And the success or failure of the product is absolutely nothing to do with me, but indeed it has everything to do with you and the level of diversity that's represented on this bleacher.
And to be fair, people just come and meet us on the street and tell us the same thing.
So you're getting the feedback. You're getting the feedback. Okay, now I want to remind folks out there, we've got a second edition of The Chair this coming Thursday, and as we move into the electoral process, every Tuesday and Thursday we will have our editions of The Chair. Also, as we continue with the side here at STV, we move all the way up to election night with our panel discussion as the votes are being counted. We are going to be here. We're going to have members of our panel on board discussing all that transpired during the elections and giving their opinions as the votes are counted and the seats are called. So if you want to get a different perspective, a different view, or really and truly understand the electoral process from the young perspective, then the place to be is STV, Real TV. Once again, this has been yet another installment of The Chair. Join us on Thursday when our special guest on the inside will be Mr. Stuart Young. My name is O'Brien Haynes. Thanks to the production team, the panel, and all who work to make the program possible. We'll see you on Thursday right here at 9 p.m. Have yourself a good evening.